even the presidential election was real election. Totally, 100% of the referendum was a religious referendum. We're voting about God. At least 80-90% of the parliamentary election was a vote about God. The presidential elections, definitely Morsi's voters were voting about God. By the way, God was never running. And Morsi doesn't have a power of attorney from God.
Yes.
So he's a normal person and he's selling religion, and selling religion is a farce. You cannot sell religion. It's not yours.
But clearly, like those in Nasr City, for instance, are not actually buying into the idea that he is the authority that was sent down from God. Clearly that they seem to be the sort of opposition, or is it the system, or they believe to be the system which can keep Morsi in check.
I started by saying I don't agree with them. I'm definitely clear from the beginning, I'm not for Morsi in any way. But I cannot accept somebody who's saying I cannot accept the results of the elections. It's either we believe in democracy or not.
Yes.
We have to accept the results of the election as this is the winner of the elections. I cannot accept him after that. I'm against him totally. But I don't agree with people who are there. Their motive is not anti-Islamic ruling. Their motives mainly are against his winning.
Yes.
And this is unacceptable for me. He won. We have to work on not allowing him to turn the country, because some people just through their will to turn the country to something we don't want. So we have to stand for that. When he takes a ruling that is against our freedom, we have to stand for that. We should not destroy the word our will.
Yes.
For no reason. Our will be there when he in Tahrir they are asking to remove all the bad people from the constitutional
court.
This we have to be against. If he starts, they are trying to do something in the court system, in the legal system. They are trying to do something in the media. This is real, and this is what we have to have a stand for. Because this is done to let the Muslim Brotherhood to be there forever.
Yes.
But not to discuss, because Shafiq is bad, and let us really face it. If people are using anti-Morsi for Shafiq, they have to know they are destroying the liberals.
Yes.
Because if you fight for Shafiq, you're losing your battle. And this is what happened in the elections. Because people pushed Shafiq, and he was definitely is going to lose. So they made us lose to Morsi. If people did not push that, and now they have to look at the same thing. If you push Shafiq in that fight, you're making Islamists win. So we should not be against that for this. We have to be only for liberalism, for freedom, for our media should stay free. We won a very big step after January 25th. We're just throwing it piece by piece. Let's not really throw the last pieces. It's the freedom of speech. They are against it.
Yes.
Morsi is against it. I should not allow him. The freedom, the independence of the juridical system. This is, we definitely had during the time of Mubarak interference from the state here. We removed part of it.
Yes.
We are trying to remove more, and we should not be fooled by some of the people who did that during the time of Mubarak. They are Islamists. They are working for Muslim Brotherhood.
Yes.
Like many names who now shows their Islamic They were not against Mubarak, they were for Muslim Brotherhood.
Yes.
And they will work for Muslim Brotherhood. So let's not be fooled by that. We need a free country that respects the people, and the people respect their freedom. We have a problem in losing the will. Now, a lot of people are talking about the Constitution.
Yes.
The Constitution is something to be protected by us, not protecting us.
Yes.
We had the Constitution in 71. That Constitution was bad in the part of the powers of the President. There were many good things in the freedom parts of this. It was thrown away by the President,
Yes.
thrown away by the states, and we did not defend our rights. So the Constitution itself, even it's the best Constitution on earth. It won't defend people unless people have the will to defend the Constitution. So the most important thing is we defend our rights. This is our will, is the only thing. We, for 30 years, we did not, at least for the last 10 years or
Yes.
15 years of the Mubarak regime, we did not accept, and we sat at home doing nothing but praying to God. God wouldn't help us.
Yeah.
We will help ourselves.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next piece of news. Journalism icon Salama Ahmad Salama's funeral is held today. A number
It was
of
held
media-
yesterday.
Well, yesterday, I'd rather. A number of media figures and writers will take part in a funeral which will be held in Abdurrahman Kawkabi Mosque in Muhandisin. So, could you tell me a bit about this, the loss of such a journalist?
Okay, he was almost 80 years of age, so it's expected. He was a fine man. I think everybody met him, liked him. In addition to his readers, I think everybody was reading. When he was in Al-Ahram, and he was, his column was always one of the first things to be read in Al-Ahram.
Yes.
Some people were saying that we are losing our... I do believe a leader in any aspect is a leader because of his students.
Yes.
And I think he had many students that would carry his greatness in his line, and did carry. So Egypt would always have the new generations in everything. And by the way, his students are old enough. It's not kids.
Yes.
So and the students of his students are there. So definitely, personally, I knew the gentleman here. I liked him personally, and as a writer, I always read him. Not always agreed with him, but in many times, and almost all the time, it enlightens even if you disagree.
Yes.
It has another viewpoint that you would really care to hear. So it could change the way you look at things. So anyway, he's a great loss. The press family did lose, and my condolences to his family and to his colleagues. And I really highly respected his son. When he came from Germany, he had a German wife, and he was living in Germany.
Yes.
And came, and they were asking him, when the media goes, and he said, why? It's a private moment, so why should I talk to the media about something that is so private? I really liked his, the way he...
Yes, he handled the situation. Well, we'll move on to the next headline. Syria's ambassador in Baghdad defects to Turkey and describes President Bashar al-Assad as a dictator. The Syrian ambassador to Iraq defected on Wednesday and is on his way to Turkey, the most senior diplomat to abandon President Bashar al-Assad during the 16-month uprising. Nawaf Faris, a former provincial governor, is the second prominent Syrian to break with the regime in less than a week following Brigadier General Mansaf Talas, an Assad confidant and son of former defense minister, fled Syria last week. So what do you think of the situation in Syria? It doesn't seem like it is it's still called a revolution, but what seems to be occurring within Syria itself is more of a civil strife or a civil war within itself. What do you
Definitely
think?
not civil war, because civil war is two parties in the same. This is the states against people. It reminds me of a nice story about the Iran Revolution.
Yes.
When the Shah fled the country, and Khomeini went to Tehran. They had a hearing in the Senate or the Congress about this with the head of CIA. So they asked him why the CIA did not tell us about this. He said, I don't think you need it to be told, because if you just open any newspaper, you would know. So we wouldn't add to that. Now, if you look at what's happening in Syria, for the last 16 months,
Yes.
would you expect that this would end? It's impossible. It will end only by the defeat of Bashar Assad. Normally, a revolution, when it pays a price,
Yes.
it adds to its strength. Either you do it. We had something in mind at the time of Hafiz Assad, the father of Bashar, when he destroyed a city, because it was only in that city.
Yes.
And he attacked the city and destroyed the city in no time, first. Second, it was when the media was to be suppressed.
Yes.
Now it's totally different. You cannot do this in the same way. Everything will go out. It's not anymore what we had before. And it's so prolonged, 16 weeks, spreading geographically.
Yes.
So unless you destroy Syria itself, the whole Syria, you cannot stop this.
So
It's over.
So would you say that Assad's regime is on the downfall, or I mean, because there were instances when the media itself reported that Assad's regime is about to topple. It's only days away, but it seems to continue on. How long do you think this bloodshed will continue on?
Unless the world agrees on the solution.